Cassey Ho, aka Blogilates, one of the first fitness YouTubers ever, has been killing it with her activewear brand Popflex over the past few years. It quickly became my favorite activewear brand. She has really thoughtful designs, they're all super cute, plus she takes customer and follower feedback into consideration with every new release, but things can be a little pricey. I'd say they're on the same level as Lululemon. Things are about $50 and up. But even as someone who likes to stretch my dollar, I recognize that the Popflex prices reflect the quality that you're getting. I've actually tried to buy dupes of Popflex designs on Amazon and they never come close. I always end up returning the cheaper version. Her social media comment section constantly looks like this, people begging her to make more affordable versions of her cute activewear designs. Places like Shein have been ripping off her patented designs for years, so Cassey was finally like, bet, you want dupes? I'll be the one to give you dupes. And she just released 24 new activewear pieces at Target under the Blogilates brand for $40 or under, but a lot of these Target styles look a lot like her Popflex best sellers. So I personally have a small collection of Popflex activewear that the brand has sent me over the past few years, and as soon as the Blogilates collection launched, I personally purchased all of the styles that look like the Popflex clothes that I have so we can compare them side by side to see if you should splurge or save on Cassey's activewear. Let's get into it, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. This channel is dedicated to budget beauty, but I'm diving a little more into fashion this year as well. If that sounds like your vibe, hit subscribe. Let's start out with one of Popflex's most popular designs, their cloud hoodie. I'm gonna be comparing this to the Blogilates Marshmallow hoodie. So these are both full zip hoodies that are oversized, very poofy and billowy, but the Popflex cloud hoodie is $70 and the Blogilates Marshmallow hoodie is $35. Now the first difference I saw when making my order was the sizing. So with Popflex, the sizing is like combined sizes where it's extra small slash small, small slash medium, etc. I wear a small slash medium, whereas in the Blogilates hoodie, it's just normal singular sizes and I ordered a small. So one feature that the cloud hoodie is known for besides being oversized is the huge enchanted hood, which I'm happy to report is also on the Blogilates Marshmallow hoodie. I love her enchanted hood design. It's on a few of her pieces. It's super wide, it's open. I don't feel suffocated with the hood up and the sides aren't touching my face, which means they're not getting makeup on them. Now both hoods are roughly the same size, but because the Popflex fabric is thicker, I do feel like it keeps its structure better when up on the head versus the Blogilates hood, which is a little bit more floppy because the fabric is thinner. On the Popflex hoodie, there are cinching strings as well as metal closures to keep the strings in place. On the Blogilates hoodie, we do not have either of these details. Now I'm gonna be so honest with you, I actually do not like the strings or the metal closures on my Popflex cloud hoodie. I think the strings are just way too long. They get in the way all the time, like when I'm cooking or cleaning, like doing dishes. And the color on the metal has actually flaked off. I also have to make sure that I wash my hoodie in like a protective bag so that the metal doesn't scrape inside of my washing machine and flake more color off. So in general, it's actually sort of just been an inconvenience to have these details. Now the pockets on the Popflex hoodie are sort of your typical sweatshirt pockets, but they do have a diagonal opening to really keep everything from falling out. On the Blogilates jacket, the pockets are a little more low profile. They have these flatter openings and there's no top seam. Now this next part is a little hard to explain, but you can see here that the Popflex pockets are external. The inside is completely flat, whereas on the Blogilates hoodie, the pockets are sewn onto the interior of the jacket. Both of these hoodies have a cinched waistband and do give that cropped look, although I do think that the Popflex hoodie is slightly more cropped. Also, the material of the waistband on the Blogilates hoodie is sort of thinner and it has a tendency to roll forward, especially at the front near the zipper, which I really don't like, and it doesn't give as billowy or poofy as an appearance from the waist. Now, both sleeves feature a drop shoulder, but the sleeves are slightly shorter on the Blogilates Marshmallow hoodie, which I prefer because on the Popflex cloud hoodie, the sleeves are comically long. Another thing that sort of becomes a little cumbersome, but on both hoodies, the sleeves do clear my fingertips completely. Now get ready for a super unpopular opinion, but I feel like the fabric of the Popflex cloud hoodie, while super thick and high quality, is actually too heavy for its design. Because it's both oversized and heavy, I feel like it's constantly falling off of me. Either it's falling off my shoulders, or if I zip it all the way up, then the hood is actually pulling it backwards and it starts riding up near my neck. The fabric of the Blogilates Marshmallow hoodie is noticeably thinner, but I honestly feel like that works better to make this design more functional. Also, the Blogilates pink is a lot more of a pastel versus the Popflex bubblegum pink. So final thoughts on the Popflex Cloud Hoodie versus the Blogilates Marshmallow Hoodie. Honestly, the $40 Marshmallow Hoodie has a lot more going for it that works better for me, fit and functionality wise. The biggest difference between the two is definitely the fabric thickness. I don't think the Marshmallow Hoodie is gonna keep me as warm and insulated as the Cloud Hoodie does, but if you haven't tried either of them, I think you would be happy with the $40 Marshmallow Hoodie for the price. Now let's talk about the flared leggings from each brand. So the Popflex Crisscross Hourglass flared leggings are my favorite activewear bottoms from the brand. Probably my favorite activewear bottoms, period. These specifically, I've actually looked and failed at finding Amazon dupes for because I have been living in a single pair of these all fall and winter. Popflex has been sold out of my size, but all of the Amazon dupes were returned because they were terrible. But now we have the Blogilates Crisscross high-waisted flare leggings as an option. The price difference is $60 versus $35. Let's compare. As you can see, both of these have a high-waisted crisscross waistband that give this cinching effect, but I think the Popflex ones are slightly higher waisted on my long torso. It might be a difference of like a ½ inch or an inch on the sides, but they just hit me a little bit more at my true waist. The first real issue that I spotted with the Blogilates version though was the length. There were no length options, whereas the Popflex leggings come in 5 different inseam options. I wear a 31-inch inseam. I'm 5'4", and with this length, the pants hit about an inch above the floor when I'm wearing sneakers. Keep in mind that these clips are filmed on carpet, so the clearance looks a little lower than it really is. But the Blogilates pair does not clear the ground even when I'm in sneakers. The Blogilates leggings also have a slit in the side, but the Popflex ones don't. I don't really have a preference either way. I just don't want them to touch the floor. Now here's a huge positive. Neither pair of leggings has a front seam. I hate front seams in my activewear leggings because it quickly becomes a camel toe-y look once you do a couple squats and they kind of bunch up a little bit. So I was really glad that Cassey kept this detail or lack thereof on the Blogilates version. Also, both pairs feature 2 really generous pockets. My iPhone 13 Pro fits in perfectly without peeking out. But the big elephant in the room for me and why I still prefer the Popflex pair, spoiler alert, is the fabric difference. The Popflex fabric is just so buttery soft and it's thick but breathable, and the fabric is the #1 reason why none of the dupes have worked out for me. Also, because they're not shiny, I don't feel like these look super over-the-top activewear like, and I've worn these just as black pants with casual outfits. Now, the Blogilates fabric, I will say, is better than the Amazon options, but it's a lot thinner, and it doesn't have like as much structure, especially in the flare, in my opinion. Like, it almost clings weird. Also, these are a lint magnet. I have cats, and on the Popflex pair, I don't feel like it really clings on to a lot of cat hair. Like maybe if I sit down on their blanket or something, but it's not like grabbing onto everything. These grab onto everything, even just like particles in the air that I didn't know were there. I lint rolled these before filming, and this is what they already look like. That actually just made something click in my head, because you know how I said that they kind of cling weird and the shape isn't as, I don't know, like flowy as the Popflex ones? Maybe they're just like staticky. Yeah, it's just a more staticky material. So here's the thing. I think that if it were between you buying flared leggings on Amazon and flared leggings from Blogilates, I think that these would be the better option. But I still think that the Popflex ones are worth the splurge, especially because of the sizing, or the length rather. These aren't gonna work for me unless I hem them. But personally, I'm just gonna wait until Popflex restocks my size in their flared leggings and buy another pair of those. So Popflex has become super well known for their feminine but functional options when it comes to active dresses and skirts. I've personally loved and worn their dresses playing pickleball or on lake boat days or just even running errands. I have both the Popflex Tiebreaker Superdress as well as the Twirl dress, and the new Blogilates Romance Run dress is a combination of these two really. So the Blogilates Romance Run dress is a bit plainer. We don't have any cinching, stitches, or waist ties, just a smooth front and a slit on the side. The outer layer is tapered at the waist a bit, but not super cinched, so it gives more of a shift dress vibe in my opinion. Now, despite recently going from a size 8 to a size 6 because I've lost weight, I do still have to wear a large in both brands because I have a long torso. So anything that's like a one piece or a romper or a dress with shorts, I need to size up. Otherwise, it either pulls down at the chest or rides up in the groin. Now, just to check, I did also buy the medium in the Blogilates dress, and I did have these issues. Even though it looked a lot more cinched in the waist, I felt like the silhouette was more flattering. It just was not working with my torso length. Now, the fabric on the Blogilates dress is the most similar to the Popflex Twirl dress. It is very soft, very buttery. The pink, similarly to on the Marshmallow hoodie, is more of that pastel shade versus the bubblegum pink. It's maybe only slightly thinner fabric than the Popflex dress, but it's still a good quality. Like in this light shade, the shorts aren't see-through. Speaking of the shorts, they do still feature 2 large pockets. The Romance Run dress, similarly to the Popflex Superdress, has adjustable straps, although I do have to have them loosened all the way, even in a large, because of my long torso. And the lengths are pretty similar. I would say they fall about 1.5 inches past my fingertip. Now, unlike the Popflex dresses, the Blogilates Romance Run dress does not have a built-in bra or pads. It does, however, have openings where you can put in your own pads. I personally prefer the chest on the Popflex Twirl dress, which is a shelf bra and pads. I think that that is the most functional for this type of like all-in-one piece. I don't want to have to worry about finding a bra that works for it, because it's gonna have to be strapless, but then it's also kind of activewear, like, All in all, I think the Blogilates dress is super cute and functional. I just don't feel like the sizing works for me as someone with a long torso, and when I size up for more length, then the waist isn't as fitted and flattering in my opinion. If you have a short or average length torso though, I think you'd be happy saving and going with the Blogilates version. The Popflex brand just has more designs, and I feel like their designs kind of cinch the waist a little bit better too, so that's just gonna come down to preference, but I think the quality is there for sure. The $75 Popflex half zip warm-up hoodie is my favorite outerwear from the brand. It fits me so much better than the cloud hoodie, so I end up wearing it a lot more. It's still oversized and poofy, but it's not falling off of me. So I was very excited to compare it to the $35 Blogilates Marshmallow half zip. And spoiler alert, these two ended up being the closest comparison between the brands because a lot of the small details from the Popflex half zip, they carried over to the Blogilates version. So both half zips have an elastic adjuster to cinch the waist, and the actual cincher component does look like they're exactly the same. They're plastic. You can uncinch it and wear it more straight and baggy, or get it to crop at the waist, which is what I normally do. You can roll the waistband under itself if you want to hide these cinching elastics, though I do feel like they end up popping out regardless, and I do wish that they were more of an interior detail, especially as someone with cats who like to chew on random strings poking out of things. Not a huge difference with the zipper components. The Blogilates one has a fabric pull, the Popflex one doesn't, and the hoods are very similar. They're still wide, but they're not as drapey as the Cloud or Marshmallow full zip hoodie. The Popflex jacket has string and metal closures. Again, I don't like this feature, so I'm glad that the Blogilates version doesn't have them. For the front pockets, the Popflex version has 2 zipper closures that come up almost to my chest. The Blogilates half zip has snap closure pockets, which feel very sturdy. They're actually kind of hard to open and close, but I do prefer the security of the zipper closure. But both jackets have this huge kangaroo style pocket that actually passes all the way through, so you can hold your own hand while you have your hands in your pockets. One thing I love about the half zip is that the sleeves are still poofy, but they are not as long on me as the cloud hoodie. On the Popflex version, the sleeves only go just past my palm. My fingers still stick out. On the Blogilates half zip, the sleeves are a bit longer on me, but the cuffs are tight enough to keep them pushed up on my arm. The cuffs are much thinner on the Blogilates version though. They feel like just regular sweatshirt cuff material. The Popflex ones are super thick and sort of layered up, but again, both of these keep the sleeve up on my wrist, so that's what matters. Now the Popflex jacket is definitely thicker and heavier, but the Blogilates one still has a good weight to it. So this particular comparison really threw me for a loop because it's my favorite Popflex item, but I would say you could totally save and go with the Blogilates version if you've been eyeing this Popflex design, because so many of those little details were duplicated. Out of the 3 sports bras that launched with this new Blogilates line, I picked up the Cardio Queen sports bra for $25. Now this design does look most similar to the Popflex Super Bra, but the only Popflex bra that I own is their $44 Tone Bra, which is just a simple pull over square neck design, but we can still compare the quality. Like I said, the Popflex Tone Bra is just a pull over style, super simple with a wide square neckline. This doesn't have any clasps or adjusters, and the compression is in between studio and high impact. The Blogilates Cardio Queen Bra has a V neckline and a Y back with this keyhole opening with adjustable straps and clasps. I'm wearing a medium in both of these bras, and the Blogilates bra has a good amount of impact hold. I feel totally fine doing high impact cardio in this without a shirt over top. But again, there are no cups or pads built in. You can put in your own if you want to. It gets a little bit nippy if it's cold. The fabric is very soft. It has a good thickness to it. It's just not thick enough, I guess, for my cold weather situation. Overall, I really like this bra. I worked out in it last night, had a good experience. I want to buy another one, but I am going to be putting the cups from my old bras that don't fit me anymore into these. Last, but certainly not least, this is the biggest price difference between 2 similar designs from these brands. The Popflex Find Your Inner fleece jacket is $165. This is a thick, heavy, cold weather fleece jacket. Now the Blogilates counterpart to this jacket seems to be their Campfire fleece full zip jacket, which is only $40. So I went into this thinking there was going to be a huge gap in quality because of the huge gap in price. But as it turns out, I don't think it's so much the quality that's the difference here as much as it is the extra details that the Popflex one has. So first things first, the Popflex fleece comes with a detachable fleece hood that snaps onto the collar. The Blogilates one does not. I personally wear the Popflex fleece without the hood most of the time, but it does make it pretty versatile. Both jackets feature a high collar that you can zip up over your face, although I do find the Blogilates one to actually be a better height for me. The Popflex one is sort of like in my face versus over it. The Popflex jacket also has 3 pockets total, 2 at the waist and then 1 on the chest, whereas the Blogilates fleece only has the 2 pockets at the waist, which are again snap closures versus zipper closures. Now I will say that extra pocket on the Popflex jacket has come in handy for me, especially while traveling. I can fit my passport into it. So again, it's just another detail that we lost in the more affordable option. And again, I do like the zipper closures. Now speaking of zippers, the Popflex jacket has a layer of fabric that goes over the zipper to sort of conceal it, whereas the Blogilates one is just normal. The Popflex fleece has the same elastic waist adjusters as the half zip, so you can loosen the bottom or create that billowy cinched appearance. The Blogilates fleece does have an elastic waistband, but it's not adjustable. You still get that billowy fit, and the waistband does sit above my hips for the most part. Now, similarly to the other outerwear that we compared in this video, the Popflex jacket is heavier. But in this case, it's a good way versus like the cloud hoodie being so much heavier. But it doesn't feel too weighed down. It's not hanging off of me. The fleece part itself feels very similar on both jackets. They both have similar texture and softness, as well as visually look the same to me. But one big fabric difference is the accent panels, so where there's not fleece. On the Popflex jacket, we have these thicker fabric sections, and on the Blogilates jacket, it's sort of a thin nylon material, which definitely contributes to the weight and warmth difference. Another big difference is the sleeve details. So on the Popflex jacket, there are extra long sleeve cuffs with thumb holes. I feel like thumb holes are sort of a love them or hate them feature. I don't necessarily use them all the time. I just like having the extra long cuffs to keep the sleeve pushed up, but they do come in handy when it's cold. On the Blogilates jacket, there's not really that much of a cuff. The sleeve just ends with an elastic sewn into the end to taper it off a bit. It's a little looser of an opening as well, so it's not going to be as tight in terms of pushing your sleeves up, but it doesn't fall past the hands either. So you can tell that so many of these little details are what make the Popflex version of this jacket more expensive, mainly being that detachable hood as well as the fabric difference. I think this is a classic case of you get what you pay for and you pay for what you want or need. If you live in a cold climate, I think those extra details on the Popflex jacket will mean something to you, but I also think that the Blogilates version is pretty high quality and will get the job done for most people. So my final thoughts on Popflex versus Blogilates activewear. I think if you haven't tried Popflex before, all of these little details and differences aren't going to be as huge of a deal for you, and you're gonna be happy with most of the Blogilates designs, with the exception of the pants. I am standing firm that the Popflex flared leggings are worth the splurge. Just period. The Blogilates line is solid activewear and outerwear for the price. But if you've tried Popflex before and you own Popflex, I do think that these differences are going to be very obvious to you, but you'll still be able to find extras to add to your closet without breaking the bank. But I want to know, now that you've seen the comparison, which of these brands do you think you're more likely to purchase from? Tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you want to keep watching, join me over in this video next, where I go through my skincare and body care empties and let you know what products are worth repurchasing. I'll see you over there. Bye.